Very good morning, children. This is Satish Kumar, a science faculty from DAB RTPP Karpa, and our principal is Sri Prasad Sargaru. See, already in the first class, we learned about the lesson that is a cell basic unit of life, and let's make a quick revision. We learned that small mosses to large conifers, then small bacteria to large blue whale. All the living organisms, whether it's a plant or an animal, are made up of cells, and so we consider the cell as a basic living organism. And for the first time, a scientist by name Robert Hooke, he observed the cell. He used the word cell, which means a living room. And then when now we talk about organization in the living organisms is made up of organ systems. Organ system again made up of organs. Organ is made up of tissues, and the tissues with the cells. So from this we can say that cell as a basic unit of life. Now come to the next topic, that is nucleus. So when we take this nucleus, for the first time this nucleus was observed by one scientist by name Felix Fontana, and this scientist, he observed nucleus in epithelial cells in animal body. Epithelial cells. What is meant by epithelial cells means, you see, when we absorb our body is covered by skin. So skin is a kind of epithelial tissue or epithelial, which is made up of epithelial cells. So in epithelial cells, for the first time he observed a nucleus. But another scientist by name Robert Brown, he observed the nucleus in epidermal cells of orchid leaves. Epidermal cells means this is also the same kind of tissue present in plants and the plant pods, and even in many other cells. He observed a special structure which is opaque. Opaque means like a dark staining body. The next as an important part in the cell, and he called that structure as a nucleus. So when you get a question, who discovered the nucleus, then you can say that it is Robert Brown. It is Robert Brown, right? Okay. Now, so here you can find the structure. What is this? It's a plant cell, orchid plant cell, and in this Robert Brown observed a nucleus for the first time. So here we can clearly find the cells. We can find the cells, and almost all these cells are having the same shape and size, and inside each cell we can find some dotted structures. Can you see what are these dots means? All these dots are said to be the nuclei, right? And in this picture you can also find one more. See here, you can find some special structures. What are they means? These are said to be the stomata, and these stomata, they help in a process called transpiration. Transpiration means removing excess amounts of water from the plant body, and even these stomata help in one more process, that is exchange of gases, right? So this is the picture showing the nucleus in orchid leaf. Now let's come to the another picture. Here you can find two diagrams. What is this? Already we studied about this. That is onion peel and this is a human cheek cell. So you just observe these two diagrams very carefully, and regarding these two diagrams, we have a few questions to discuss. Right? So yeah, what structures found in both the cells? So what structures we can find in both these two cells means when we observe these two diagrams very carefully, we can find the nucleus. See here, this is in a cheek cell, we can find nucleus, and here also we can find a red, dark blue colored structures. Right? What are they? That's a nuclei. So we can find a nuclei are common in these two, and what's the next one? That is a cytoplasm. Now both the cells are filled with some jelly-like substance, and this jelly-like substance can be called as a cytoplasm. Right? And what is another common point means both this animal cell and the plant cell are covered by a membrane here. See, this is outermost layer, and this one can be called as a cell membrane or a plasma membrane. And of course, in plant cell also we can find the membrane. We call that as a cell membrane, but we can find some difference. We discuss that later, right? And let's see what's the next question. Did the nucleus located at the center in both the cells? Did the nucleus located at the center in both the cells? See, observe these two. Now can you see that nucleus is present in the middle in both the cells? No. So when now you take this human cheek cell, that is animal cell, in all the animal cells, nucleus can be seen in almost middle of the cell, at the center of the cell. But when we go to this plant cells, in case of plant cells, the nucleus are present at the side of the cell. At the side of the cell. That's the main difference between plant cell and animal cell regarding position of a nucleus, right? So why the nucleus or a nuclei are at the sides inside the plant cell means in the middle of the cell, in the middle of the plant cell, we can find a large bubble-like structure here. Okay, and here we cannot find that one, and we call that as a vacuole. Due to presence of that vacuole, see this nucleus is pushed to the side, right? Okay, now let's see what's the next question. Difference in the boundary of both the cells. In the boundary of both the cells. Boundary here, what is boundary means? Coverings. So when I told about this is a cell membrane in case of a cheek cell. Even in a plant cell also we can find a cell membrane. Say for example, this is cell membrane, but around the cell membrane we can find one more layer like this. Okay, and we call this as a cell wall. Got it? So what is the outermost layer in a plant cell means cell wall, and what about animal cell means in animal cell we can find the cell membrane. Correct? That is very important difference. In case of animal cell, cell membrane or a plasma membrane is the outermost layer, but in case of plant cell, cell wall is the outermost layer, right? Okay. Now, right? So these are the answers. Then When we come to the next one, cell components. What are cell components? That means what can you see inside the cell? And what are the various parts we can find in a cell? Means the first one, that is a cell membrane. Cell membrane. Already we discussed this, right? Here. So in whatever the cell it is, whether it's a plant cell or animal cell, the cell is covered by a membrane called a cell membrane or a plasma membrane. It is common in both the plant cell and the animal cell. Got it? But in case of a plant cell, just above the cell membrane, we can find another layer that is called the cell wall. Right? So, what is the use of this cell membrane or a plasma membrane? Means it gives shape, particular shape to the cell. Right? So, when you take a animal cell, animal cell is covered by a membrane that is called cell membrane or a plasma membrane. And in case of a plant cell, also we can find a cell membrane, but again it is covered by one more layer called a cell wall. Is that clear? Don't get confused. In animal cell membrane or a plasma membrane is the outermost layer. But in case of plant cell membrane is present, but it is again covered by cell wall, right? And the next one, the nucleus. When we take this nucleus, in case of plant cell, nucleus is present at the sides. At the side, already we discussed this. Why means? That means in the middle of the cell, we can find a vacuole. Vacuole means just like a bubble, right? And in case of animal cell, this nucleus is seen in the middle or the center of the cell, right? And when we take the next part, that is a cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Means, see, when you take any pond or lake, it is filled with the water, right? In the same way, the whole cell is filled with a jelly-like substance, and that substance can be called as a cytoplasm. And in that cytoplasm, so we can find many parts of the cells, and those parts can be called as cell organelles. Correct? So inside the cytoplasm, in the cytoplasm, we can find the structures called as cell organelles. And what's the last one? That is cell organelles. Cell organelles means, inside our body we can find many parts like heart, lungs, liver, stomach, kidneys, like this. In the same way, inside the cell also we can find many parts, and we call these parts as cell organelles. And we are going to discuss these cell organelles in 9th class. But for your idea, I give you some parts. Say for example, nucleus, then ribosomes, lysosomes, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, cytoskeleton. Like this, we can find many parts, and each cell organelle is having a particular function, and because of them, the cells are able to carry out different types of functions, right? Now, just observe these two pictures. So here we can find onions. Now can you see that both the onions are same? Now this onion is bigger and this onion is smaller. Now if you carefully observe these two onions, can you see that in this bigger onion, the cells are big in size, and in a small onion, cells are small in size. Why this is bigger, why this is smaller? Means here when you observe both these two onions contain the cells, that is the plant cells. But what makes the difference in between these two means here in a bigger onion we can find more number of plant cells, and in a small onion we can find a less number of cells. Is that clear? So depending upon the number of cells, the size of the organism increases, right? And here we can clearly observe by one more example. Here in next picture we can find a mother and a baby. If we carefully observe mother and baby, can you say both the mother and the baby having the same size? No, baby is very small while the mother is big. But why they appear like that? Means here in both the mother and the baby we can find cells, animal cells. But in case of mother we can find more number of cells when compared to the baby. As the mother contains more number of cells, mother is bigger, and as the baby contains small number of cells, baby appears to be small. Correct? Is that clear? So this is very important point regarding this bigger and smaller, right? And now let's come to what is this? This is a hand sanitizer, mask, then hand washing, the next gloves. Now these are very important in our daily life nowadays. Okay, and we must clean our hands with the hand sanitizer, the next with the hand wash, and a clean soap and water. And while going outside we must wear this mask to our face, and even our hands must be covered with the gloves, right? And finally, stay home and stay safe to protect yourself from the dangerous corona. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.